guys, welcome to another episode of Project MIATA. In today's episode, we're picking up some used parts. We're picking up a hood and a headlight cover because my clear coat's coming off, and I found them on the Facebook forums on SoCal MIATA sell thread, and I'm pretty stoked because I got a really good price on them. The clear coat, what's gonna be good about this, the clear coat is not peeling, but it is damaged. So on this episode, I'm gonna be able to show you guys how to cut paint with polish and a DA polisher from Harbor Freight. So if your paint's going bad on your Miata, you can bring it back to life. So we're here at John's house. This is John, guys.
What's up? And
here's his Miata, and here's the hood that we're gonna pick up. It looks in pretty decent condition. It's a little faded, but I think we could bring it back, I think. We'll try to bring it back. This is what my hood looked like when I first got it. The whole car looked like that. And then we polished it out. And then we're gonna get the head cover of his car, of the passenger light cover here. So he was having trouble because this was really tight on there. But I think what we'll do is we'll probably get it on the edge here. Do you have crimps or something? Maybe we could turn it from there. Nah, this is gonna strip it, man. So unfortunately, we couldn't just take off the cap on there. So he's actually gonna give me the whole thing for the same price, which is pretty cool. So it's been a mission to try to take off this little headlight cover. We have to pop the fender a little bit just to get to the bolt on the side. We could have done it with the headlight up, but he didn't have an extension or a swivel. So, but you're selling the fender, right?
Yeah.
So he needs to get it off anyways. So let's give him a hand taking it off. Here?
Yeah.
I got it. So we have the headlight and the hood off. I'm gonna start cracking on the Miata. We got the hood off, so you guys can see the difference. Here's my old hood, all peely and nasty, and here's his. It has like little bird shits on it, but we'll clean it up. Alright, so got the little headlight cover. It's pretty clean. We're gonna have to do that some other day at some point, but I'm gonna polish these two guys and we'll have some clean headlights and hood on the Miata. Alright, take it easy. Bye, old hood. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna try to restore that hood and that light, but first we need to wash it really well, and I'll show you the right way to wash that so you don't make more scratches in the clear. So right now we're gonna clean all this nasty stuff like this. If you go and start scrubbing that down, you're gonna scratch the clear coat. See that? That's what you want, all that. See what happens, I'll explain to you what happens in a bit. All right, so let me explain to you what happens. This sud right here, when there's soap, it basically picks up off all the dirt and little particles that are on the paint into this stuff, and it starts to go down. You want that because when you start washing your car with just a mitt, you're basically sanding your car is what you're doing, and you don't want to do that. That damages your clear coat. So if you ever notice, if you look at your car like in the sun at a certain angle, you'll see all those swirl marks, which they call love marks and swirl marks. It's because of that. All right, guys, so we finished installing that headlight. The hood's in, and it's looking 20 times better now. Now the only thing we need to get that's peeling is the bumper, and this fender is pretty bad right here. I'm sure I'll find it within time if I'm patient. But now we have to polish this guy and polish this because it is tired paint. Okay, so two quick things. Before you polish or cut any paint, you must first actually clay the car. Most of you guys would say, wow, that's pretty clean. Yeah, it's there, but we can do better. So I did a little spot right here. It's hard to see, but you can hear it. Right here I did it for a test. Right here I did it. That's all contamination and different kind of things. Like one big one is the exhaust from airplanes. They fall on your paint and actually damage it. UV rays and rain, tree sap, all that stuff damages your clear coat. So there's ways to prevent it, like glazes, waxes. If you're gonna use a wax, always use Carnival, which is from Brazil, I believe. It's like from the ground, it's all natural, it's the best kind, but the hardest to work with. It's hard to take off. But I'm gonna start polishing. I'm gonna show you the process and the mind thought of me working on with polishes. So let me show you the tools we're gonna be using today. This is called a DA polisher, a dual action. Now, what does dual action mean? It's basically, it turns, but it doesn't spin in a straight circle like most polishers. This is basically dummy proof, so you can push as hard as possible. You never burn the paint because this actually has clutches, so this will actually stop spinning if you put too much pressure. That's why if you notice these little lines right here that I have right there, the little lines that I make, that's a little tip so you know it's working when you see them spinning, those lines, because once they stop spinning and you see them, you're putting too much weight on it. And then the next thing you need is a cutting pad, and this is from Harbor Freight. It's a Chicago. It's not, they sell more expensive ones. I think this one's like about $100 or less, depending when you get it. Now this is a cutting pad that you also get at Harbor Freight, and I believe these are 4 inches, and this goes right on top of here. It's Velcro, as you can see right there. They have 3 different ones. There's this one's for cutting, which is the orange one. There's a black one, which for adding like compound, glazes, waxes and stuff like this. This is for adding compound with cutting material, which is this. I'll explain it in a little bit. And the only difference is the stiffness. Like the ones that cut are a lot stiffer, and the ones to add like polishes and add waxes is softer. Now the next thing, this is a really critical step, choosing these 2 guys, because they do have different like cutting pads and stuff. I always go with the medium. This is a medium cutting pad at Harbor Freight, and then I use this, which is, you can't get this at Harbor Freight. This is from Chemical Guys. It's a company that I use, really professional company. This one's V36, which is a medium cut. Most cars, this setup works perfectly. So the best way to put this on is put it down like that, grab your DA polisher, and then just line it up as best as possible. What I do is I'll grab my fingers around it to have the same gap everywhere. Usually that works. That's an even gap. Next thing you want to do is add polish to your cutting pad with this guy. So make sure you always shake this really well, and you only want to put these dots right here. This is all you need. That's all you need to start cutting. But before I start cutting the paint, let me lay down the piece of tape, and then we'll start so I could do a half and half comparison. All right, so there's a lot of contamination on this paint. This is clay, what I was talking about. You can buy this at AutoZone. You spray lubricant and you rub this on your paint, and it picks up all like the nasty tar and contamination on your paint. All right guys, so before you start, when you add your compound that's already on there, you first want to do 2, because if you do it at a high setting, you're going to sling it everywhere. It's going to get all over the place. And the way you start is you just press it like this. I'll show you right now. Then you're going to turn it on and spread it, okay? And every time you turn it off, always turn it off with on the car. Never turn it off with this spinning and turn it off. It damages the clutches. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and crank it up to 6, which is the highest setting on this DA polisher. And the professional way to do it is to actually tape off like certain kind of size, but I'm kind of too lazy for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the whole thing. It's a MIATA, and we might get this car repainted in the future, but I was trying to make it as best as possible. So I'm gonna try to stay just in this little section right here. So that's enough for that compound right there. And then I'm gonna first start like this in the snake way, and then you go up in the snake way, and you do 4 passes each way. Now you want to use some kind of spray like this guy to clean it. All right, so we got probably 90% of the contaminants on the paint. Listen to it now. Pretty contaminated. Look at the palm tree. That palm tree is reflecting. Look at the palm tree. Look at, boom, glass. That's the difference, guys. And we're not done. I'm gonna cut it one more time. Look at the quality of it right here. You can see it now. Look, it's glass. This is cleaner than the glass. Let me take off the tape for you guys so you guys can see it. Look at that. You can see where it starts. There it is, where it starts. Just contaminated. Look at clean. Now we have to do something that's called the glaze or a seal, but the main part being the part that says seal. I added this to this. This is black light. This is from Chemical Guys. It's like a hybrid kind of sealant glaze. We have to add this sealant on the paint, and I already put the dry time on there, so it makes my life easier. I'm pretty sure the information's back here online, but it's once we add it, we have to wait 15 minutes to dry, and it's recommended online to do 2 coats, but I'm only gonna do 1. I don't have too much time, so just dab it on like that and then start smearing it everywhere. All right, so I finished putting all that glaze in, and we're gonna wait those 15 minutes and then we're gonna take it all off. Quick note, if you guys can't get Chemical Guys because you have to order that online and you can only go to a store like AutoZone or Pep Boys or something like that, for the cutting compound, they sell that at Harbor Freight. They sell the McGuire's brand. Just make sure to get the right cutting compound. I would get the light and the medium to start with. Now for the glaze, the glaze is something you get from Chemical Guys. If you don't have a glaze, the other option is a Carnival Wax, which I purchased at AutoZone, which is this guy right here. I'll show you right now. This guy, you can purchase this. See how it says Carnuba? That's the best wax you could buy in the world. Carnuba, no matter what brand it is, it's what it's made out of. And from what I understand, Carnuba is actually in the dirt in Brazil. That's from what I understand. And for the clay bar as well, you get this at AutoZone. This is the kind of clay bar I use right here, Mother's. All right guys, so it's been 15 minutes now. I'm gonna show you the hood, what it's looking like. So the best way to tell if the glaze or wax or any of that is ready is when you wipe it, it should be clean. So you see how hazy it is? See that? That's when you know it's ready. Another tip, when you're taking off wax, always use short hair microfibers. There's the final product. Look how shiny it looks. Sometimes you don't need paint. You can bring stuff back, and you can bring back, this car's from '92, so you do the math how old this paint is. All right guys, that wraps this episode of Project MIATA. Please leave a comment down below what you guys would like to see on these episodes. Anything that comes up in your head, just comment down below. And don't forget to hit like on this episode. It really helps out the channel. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.